So we arrived really late last night to Moutcha Bay Resort on Vancouver Island. This is a new fishery for us. So we got James here, our guide for the trip, and he's gonna take us outside and we're gonna maybe do some fishing off the boat, kind of get a feel for this fishery, and we're gonna see what we can learn off the boat and then take that and put it to kayak fishing.
Well, the great thing about this location being in Nootka Sound is that we kind of get two kicks of the can. We're able to fish for the migratory fish that are heading south to the States and southern waters in Canada. We have 60 to 80,000 fish returning to the Canooma River, which is right here in front of us. Fantastic freshwater fishing, saltwater fishing, and a lot of the fishing in Nootka Sound is done in protected, very calm water.
We just want to kind of get a good feel for it. Kalani has not kayak fished in quite a while, so it's going to be a good way to kind of get our feet wet before we jump in the water and chase them on the kayaks.
I like to travel. My wife and I both want to travel. I'm recently retired, so I'm hoping we get an opportunity to do this. We've talked about Vancouver Island and British Columbia ever since the Winter Olympics. My wife's done a lot of traveling and seen the wilderness. I grew up on an island in Hawaii, so this is a whole new experience for me.
Kalani is an old friend of mine. I mean, we've known each other for probably 20 years, but we never really done a whole lot together. We've surfed together a little bit, we've kayaked together, never really much in the way of fishing. But he's a pretty inexperienced kayak angler, and angler at all.
I'm a novice fisherman, I make no bones, but the whole resort is just geared. It's so picturesque and very relaxing. And they have chartered tours if you want to go on. If you want to do it with a kayak, you could.
Moutcha Bay Resort is one of 3 resorts that Nootka Marine Adventures has. This is our land-based resort. We have lodge accommodation, 39 campsites, yurt accommodation. We also have a full-service marina, 35 boats, half of which are used for fully guided fishing trips, and the other half which can be rented.
The things you can do at Moutcha Bay Resort, just straight off the docks here, and you know, a very short paddle. There's some rivers that have big salmon in them. If you don't want to kayak fish, you want to take a day off and jump on a charter boat and you want to go target huge halibut, you've got the availability of their charter service here. It's just such a wonderful service and one of the many great services here at Moutcha Bay Resort.
When we showed up, it was wet and rainy. We got up in the morning, it was sunny and beautiful. So we headed out to open ocean.
We're going to try to drift right through all of this structure. See various depth changes with 197. Now it's going to come up to 164, 150. But we're going to try to drift right over that structure.
I've always loved to catch big fish. And not just to catch big fish, but the potential to catch big fish. So whenever you can get offshore and, you know, potentially catch into here would have been a big lingcod or halibut, and every drop, you know, it could be that fish of a lifetime. And that's what excites me every single time we go out.
So I'm going to set you up with a nice big jig, 24 ouncer. We want to be right down on the bottom, obviously jigging, but you have to be careful because we've got a lot of rocks here. We don't want this getting caught in the bottom.
Right.
So just off of it and then lots of motion to it.
Kalani had some issues, he had some struggles. We gave him a hard time and he laughed the whole time and we laughed, and it just made it fun.
So immediately, naturally everybody's laughing.
Hey Kalani, you might fall off.
I still can't tell you exactly what happened. I was reaching for the boat, and that's a no-no. Because when the boat and the kayak pulled apart, it flipped and I went in the drink. The water temperature was really chilly.